Westminster lies on the north bank of the river to the west of the city. It's the political centre of the United Kingdom, the home of the British Parliament. The nation's leaders and the men and women who represent the British people meet and debate in the two Houses of Parliament, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Next to Parliament is Westminster Abbey. Almost every coronation has happened here since William the Conqueror. And above Parliament rises London's famous clock tower, Big Ben. Its four white faces look north, south, east and west. But Big Ben isn't really the name of the clock. It's the name of the bell inside the clock. They say that one of the best ways to see London is from the top of a bus. So let's leave Parliament Square and go along Whitehall. On your left is the headquarters of the Royal Horse Guards. And Trafalgar Square is straight ahead. In the middle of Trafalgar Square is Nelson's Column. This commemorates the sea victory of Admiral Lord Nelson at Trafalgar in 1805. Nelson spent his life looking over the sea, and his statue also looks over a sea of pigeons. These pigeons are probably the fattest in the world. They're popular with the tourists, but unpopular with the people who look after the buildings. One of these is the National Gallery, home of many famous paintings. A short bus ride away from Trafalgar Square is Piccadilly Circus, where Eros, the Greek god of love, stands in the heart of London's West End. London is proud of her many green and open spaces, where the English countryside comes to the centre of the city. All the major parks were once royal gardens, but today they're here for everyone to enjoy. St James's Park, near Buckingham Palace, is London's oldest. It belonged to Henry VIII, the king who had 6 wives. In the park you can feed the swans, geese, ducks and other water birds that live near the lake. In Kensington Gardens stands the Albert Memorial, which Queen Victoria built in memory of her husband. Facing it is the Albert Hall, where the famous promenade concerts are held. One of the best times to visit London's parks is in the spring. At this time of the year, Regent's Park is a beautiful place of blossom and flowers. It's perhaps London's most elegant park, with its attractive gardens and lakes. And at any time of the year, you can visit the zoo, which has an aviary where birds can live in a natural environment, and about 6,000 animals, many of them born here in Regent's Park. But the zoo's most popular residents are, of course, the pandas. Pandas come from the mountains of southwest China, but there are very few of these wonderful creatures left in the world. Their main food is bamboo, and they're very fond of it. Shopping is as popular with visitors to London as sightseeing. 6 days a week, thousands of people come to Oxford Street in the West End to shop for clothes and visit the big stores like Marks and Spencer and Selfridges. The little streets off Oxford Street have their own attractions too. Here you'll find smaller shops, such as jewellers selling gold and silver, small boutiques selling the latest fashions, little antique shops where you can buy collector's items like silver matchboxes, and even smaller specialist shops. Hamleys of Regent Street is the place for children. It's one of the biggest toy shops in the world. And at Harrods of Knightsbridge, it's said that you can get anything from a piano to an elephant. As evening falls in London, shops close, but restaurants, cinemas and theatres open. London is famous for its theatres, and most of them are in the West End near Piccadilly Circus. You can see anything from a Shakespeare play to a modern musical. In the South Bank complex, on the other side of the Thames, there's classical music, art and cinema, as well as theatre. London is an attractive city with great character. It changes as the centuries pass, but its ceremonies and traditions stay the same. This film has shown you some of the things you can see and do in London. Why not come here and see it all for yourself?